The story begins with a shocking moment. Imagine a quiet afternoon where a man named David sat peacefully on his porch, enjoying the calm breeze over his ranch. Out of nowhere, two strangers in uniforms arrived, flashing fake badges and announcing they were HOA police. They accused him of not paying HOA fees, but David didn't even live in an HOA community. The neighbors peeked from their windows, confused and frightened. The scene was staged to intimidate him, but David's calm stare unsettled them. Something about him didn't match the picture of an easy target, and the so-called officers didn't realize who they were dealing with. As the strangers tried to sound official, David asked for proof of their authority. Their vague answers and nervous body language made it clear this wasn't a lawful visit. Yet, instead of panicking, David leaned forward, locking eyes with them. His voice was steady, asking questions that made their fake story collapse piece by piece. The neighbors watching couldn't believe the boldness of the intruders, but they also couldn't believe how unshaken David appeared. He wasn't an ordinary man, though no one knew yet. Something in his silence hinted at a strength far deeper than the imposters expected. The situation escalated quickly. The fake officers claimed they had the right to arrest him on the spot. One reached for handcuffs while the other gripped a radio that wasn't even switched on. But David stood tall, unafraid. His stillness made them uneasy. He didn't resist, didn't argue, he just observed, almost like he'd trained for this exact moment. The imposters, mistaking his composure for weakness, stepped closer. That was their biggest mistake. For years, David had trained in some of the toughest conditions known to men. He wasn't just strong, he was part of the special forces, though no one in the neighborhood knew it. At that instant, David's calm cracked into action. In a fluid motion, he blocked the handcuffs, twisted the fake officer's wrist, and had him on the ground before the neighbors could blink. The second intruder tried to back away, but David's presence was overwhelming. He ordered him to drop the fake badge and sit down. His voice, sharp and commanding, carried the authority of a man who had stared danger in the face countless times. The neighbors gasped, realizing their quiet neighbor wasn't the man they thought they knew. This wasn't just bravery, this was precision, discipline, and experience. But David didn't stop at defense. He knew these imposters weren't acting alone. Someone had sent them, and the truth had to come out. While holding them in place, he demanded to know who gave the order. The fear in their eyes revealed cracks in their story. One stammered about an HOA committee leader who wanted David gone, accusing him of being a troublemaker. David's jaw tightened. He had lived peacefully, never harming anyone, yet someone had targeted him with a cruel lie. This wasn't about fees, this was about control, intimidation, and prejudice. And now, it had crossed the line. David called the real authorities, but not before gathering evidence. He searched their fake IDs, copied the license plate of their unmarked car, and documented everything. By the time the police arrived, the imposters' confidence had evaporated. The officers listened carefully, realizing David had single-handedly stopped a dangerous scam that could have fooled others. His background in the special forces gave weight to his testimony, but it was his calm, unbreakable spirit that impressed everyone most. The neighborhood whispered. Shaken yet proud, as David stood tall, refusing to be broken by fear or lies. The truth spread like wildfire. The so-called HOA leader who hired the imposters was exposed, disgraced in front of the community. Neighbors who had once doubted David now saw him as a hero. But David didn't celebrate, he simply returned to his porch, quiet as always. He had faced much greater battles in life, yet this one hit closer to home because it revealed how far some people would go to misuse power. In the end, his strength wasn't just in his training but in his resilience, his refusal to bend to injustice. And that lesson stayed with the neighborhood forever.